Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a Google website. There are many apps and systems where you can make a website. I've chosen Google Sites not because it's the most sophisticated, but because it's free and it also integrates pretty well with other Google products. So, to get started, go to your Google Drive and click on New and go down to the list that says More and click on where it says Google Sites. It'll take a few seconds to open up this site. When it opens up, you'll see a banner saying your page title, Untitled Site, and you're actually on a web page and you've started making the website and this is your home page. So let me, I don't know, give a text here, and here let me just put, I don't know, comp class or something. So now we've given a general name to our website and we've named it here. This is a banner. If we click inside it, we get options to change the image. We can select an image if we want. And now we've got a different background image, so we just choose Change Image. Or we can go back to the original by resetting, although I don't know, quite like that. So we'll go back to that if it's a composition class. Now we have something called the header type, so let's have a look at the options. At the moment it says banner, so let's click on large banner. Just makes this a bit bigger. We can go back to banner, you can just have title, we can click on cover, and then our home page really is just going to be an empty page. Let's go back to our large banner, or in fact our banner. I quite like the, it's less distorted there. So this is the start, the header, the banner of our website. If we want to play around with this, we can come over here to where it says Themes. Notice on the right hand side we have Insert, Pages and Themes. Let's click on Themes, and here we can see we're on Simple, and if we click here we change the colour of the class, perhaps or perhaps not, because we're actually using an image. But let's click on Font Style, and we can see if we click on Classic we change the text a little bit. Heavy. So here and here it's going to change all the text we put on our website. Or here we can come to Aristotle, which is another collection. And again, the colours are not going to work if we have an image. If I reset, you can see that the colour will make a difference just to here. Or if I go back to the simple, if I click on the different colours, you can see the background is slightly changing. In fact, I'll just keep it like that for the moment because then we can see the colour in action. So you've got various options here. Let's go to level. Again, the colour seems to be more about a background than anything. Then I can change the font style to Sans, which is without serifs, slab, or narrow. And finally there's impression with a similar set of options. I think I'm going to be boring and just go back to simple and the initial one. But I'm going to put that image back because I quite liked it. So that's themes. When we start the website, we get an initial banner that we can make larger, and we can change the image if we wish. If we want to change the look and feel of the background that's not an image and the text, we can choose one of these, and there's several fonts to choose from. So that's themes. Now, a web page has content, and we put content in two ways. One is to use the insert option here. And you can see here we can insert text, images, go to our Google Drive to get stuff, or embed. We're going to look at each of those. Also, we're going to put the content in the white space. If I double click here with the left mouse button, if I click, I also get the options that we can see here. I get them here. So there's the drive, there's the embed, the images, and the text. There's also another one here to upload something, for example, a picture. Now, we also can upload other things at this side. So the advantage of insert over here is we've got a range of options. The disadvantage is we have to keep moving our mouse. So I'll try and do it both ways, but basically there are two options. By the way, this is also to give some outlines, some layouts rather. So if I click here, it puts this section where there's, I can click here to get an image, or I can add another thing, one of these, or I can write some text here. Notice there's still more area of the page. In fact, if I click on this, it will give me two images and text. If I click here, it'll give me three. This will give me this format, and so on. So when I click here, it's not a layout for the whole page, but it's a section. And we can do different things with these sections as well. I can put a style to them. Oops, I'm sorry, I duplicated the section. I didn't want to do that. Now, the other thing I can also do with these is put them in the bin. And that's just what I want to do because I don't want to use layouts. But I just wanted to show you layouts are possible to use. So if one of these corresponds to how you would like your section to be, by all means use them. I'm just going to collapse this so we don't see it. So let's start by clicking here and let's add an image. Now I can either upload the image or select. Upload will be from my computer or my tablet or my phone. I'm going to click on select. So I can select an image either from my Google Drive. If I have a link to it, I can click. I may have some photos which I can use, or I can also go directly to Google Images and search in Google Images. I'm going to search in Google Images for my faculty. So let me see. It's quite a nice. So I've chosen one picture and I'm going to come here and insert. So now I get a picture here. Notice that I've got the usual things with pictures. I can make it a bit bigger or much bigger. Or I can make it smaller. I don't really want to do this, but if I wanted to, I could stretch it. But it's kind of lost part of its it's a little bit distorted, isn't it? Okay, because I've been playing around with that, I'm just going to add the image again, but this time I'm going to click here. Click, image, Google image search, FCSH, Nova. And once again, I'll select this, although this time I think I'll add 2. So I'm adding 2 pictures this time. So here they are, side by side. Now, if I click on a picture, above it shows me things I can do. So I can crop it. You know, I could do various cropping things and so on. And then when I'm happy, I just do that. Although I've rather pulled it out, haven't I? I think I'm going to uncrop because I'm not really a graphic artist, so I'll probably make a mess if I crop it. I could add a link to it, I can delete it, and I can add alt text. Now, alt text is used for visually impaired students who, if they're using a suitable screen reader, will have that text read to them. It's becoming more used for websites. Another thing, let me just see, I can add a caption. The caption is just some text. Now if I add that text, I can select it. I can do 1 or 2 things with it. I can put it in the center, make it a bit bigger. And I can add a caption here. Oops, I have a feeling I've just selected the wrong thing. Let's just try and add some text though. Instead of adding a caption, let me see if I can add some text. If I double click here and add text, I get a text box which I can slightly move. Oops. Yeah. I'm going to put inside tower B of FCSH. I shouldn't try and type very much on when the computer's watching. I tend to make a mess. Right, let's do the same thing here. That was 18, wasn't it? Actually, I wish there was, as far as I know, there isn't no, I'll make it a bit smaller. Good. Now, I suppose I could try and just make that a little bit there. Okay. Well. Okay, let's leave it like that. Now, let me add another picture. Let me just show you what happens. I'm just going to try and add one more from my faculty. Oops, sorry. By the way, there's a lot of options within these options that I don't know very well, so please play around and see what you come up with. Let me choose that. I just want to show you something. Now, this has come here, but there's nothing to stop me dragging this over here, although there isn't really room for it, so it will do that. Slightly adjusted the others. I'm just going to make a caption for this as well. Let's see how... Okay, so I made a kind of little effect there. Could be worse. Now let's add something else. If I click here, will that allow me to do it? No, it won't. Okay. Now, here, I'm just going to click here. I'm going to come over here and add a map. So we get Google Maps. Again, as I said, an advantage of Google Sites is it links well with a lot of Google facilities. So if I click here, I've put the map location, a little map of how to get to my faculty. And when we actually have this published, which I'll show you a bit later, of course, as with any map on a website, students will be able to expand it or go back to the size. Let me just, let's see, I'll just click here and put some text, and I'll just, actually I'll make the text here just to, can I copy that? My cheat way of copying. Right, we'll leave it like that. Okay, now I can come here, down here, and I can click on embed, or I could have done it over here. Embed, I can either embed some code, and just to say those of you who are more ambitious, you can actually go to another site and generate a web page element, and then you can copy paste the HTML code into this box, and it will generate that for you. The other thing you can do is just add a link. Let me add a link by going to the BBC website. So let me just, let me just copy this link, then go back to our web page. So what I'm doing there is just copy pasting a link. Now, very importantly, when you add a website, you have two options. You can show the whole page, or you can just have a description of where you're going. This description will not change. It'll just say BBC Home web page. The whole page will dynamically update. What does that mean? It means, well, let me select it and insert it. So here I've got a link to the BBC website. I'm just actually going to make it a little bit smaller. Oh, I'm not. Okay, I'm sure some of you will know how to do that better. But the point is, if we come back to this website tomorrow, it will have a different image. It will have the current images. Let me just put one more thing on this site. No, I better not, because it looks a bit silly, doesn't it? Let me just come back over here. Right. One other thing I'm going to put down here is a YouTube video. Now when I click on Insert YouTube over here, I can actually search YouTube. That main story is about a lady who's testifying about Facebook. So let me just see if her testimony is, let's see, there's a live stream here. So I'll select that. Let's see if I'm going to move that so they're alongside each other. Doesn't look very good, does it? But never mind. Make that. Just see if I can make that a bit bigger. Okay, we'll just get that image, okay? And here, let me just see what I can do. I can open it in a new tab. I can remove, my settings are like that. I'll just double click here. Let me just put I wish there was some little button to make styles, because I always end up doing these choices. Okay. Now, you can see here there's a button. We should be able to just open this. You can't until we publish. However, if we click on it, if we click on this, we can actually open this in a new tab. So there we are, we've actually opened it in a new tab. So sometimes you can open things in a new web page, a new tab. Okay, now there are other things I could do here. I could probably correct my spelling. In fact, I'll tell you what, let me deliberately leave that because it will be useful to show you a bit later. So insert means in the white space we can keep on adding things. Now, this is a section. Over here you can see these dots. Now, if I click on these dots and come here, I've changed the location. I could move this all the way down. So these sections, which you can see here, can move. So let me just move this one back up here. Let me try and move it up here. So let me move this one down here. That would be easy to move it down. Up. Okay. You can also use it. You can also move individual things around. So that's how you can get different layouts. Okay. Okay. Now, in my experience, and we're going to see when they reload this, it's not a good idea to have your home page too busy. Because if a home page takes a long time to load, it will put people off and they'll go elsewhere. Many people like to have a modest home page and then put more content on other pages. Now, how do we get other pages? Well, let's just remind ourselves, this is the BBC homepage. I was just trying to get rid of the ad. Now, you can see here on the BBC homepage that you can click on different parts of their website. I can click on travel, for example. And now I go to bbc.com travel. So this is part of the website. And within travel, I can go to destinations. And now again on the BBC, I'm in travel, destinations. So we have a kind of hierarchy. How can we do that with our website? Well, we've looked at themes, we've looked at insert. Let's see what pages do. I'll imagine this is a class that meets, I don't know, let's say, well, it's going for several weeks. So we'll put a page called week 1. And we'll put something called week 2. Oops, I did not do that. Let's put something called week 3. I'll just do a few more. Week 4 and week 5. So if I want to add a new page, I just click on the bottom plus here. If I want to add a week, let me just add a week 0 just to show you something. Now, here we can see week 1, 5, week 0. Imagine week 0 should go before week 1. I just click here on week 0 and I can move it up here. Okay, so you can move these around as well. Now, I'm just going to go to week 0 and I'm going to click here on these 3 dots. I'm just going to delete it because let's imagine we don't have a week 0. If I click on week 1, I'll go to week 1's page. We haven't got anything, but we could. And we certainly would when we made the website. So I can move around the website. That's, if you like, at one level. We've got home and then we've got sub-sections for week 1, week 2. If I click on week 1, I can come here and click on a sub-page. For example, lesson 1. Let's imagine our classes are twice a week. Now be careful, if I make a sub-page on lesson 1 and put lesson 2, notice what I've done is make lesson 2 a sub-page of lesson 1. Let me go to the home page and we can see that. Now notice for week 1 we've got sub-pages. We haven't for the other weeks. We can see this because there's an arrow next to lesson 1. And we can see the sub-pages of lesson 1 here. Let me just try and change that name. Let's put, that's okay, lesson 1. Let me just go down to lesson 2. Let me just call that part 1. Now, is it going to show us that? No, it's not, is it? Okay, we're going to have to work out how to do that. What I'm going to actually do is just delete this. And here in week 1, I'm going to add a sub-page. You can work out how to change the sub-page name and put it in a comment. I'm going to put this on YouTube, by the way, so you can put a comment in YouTube if you work out how to do that. And so on. But you can see here that we're building up the different weeks. If you end up with a lot of weeks, then you also get a drop-down list for the weeks. That's how you can make pages and sub-pages. So just to make pages going from the home page, just come here. Notice you can also have a link as well if you want. You know, if you want to link to other websites, you can just do this. So you see here, I'm now clicking here, and if I click here, I will actually go out of my and then that's another way of linking to pages. I just want to delete the BBC website now. Okay, I think that's enough of the basics, okay? Let me just click. Now, this is the authoring page. This is where you author. When you're ready to publish, you can just come up here and publish. You click on this publishing button. Now you have to give this a name. I would be amazed if we got away with this. Your website will become this address, https://sites.google.com/view/comp-class. If you want your own domain, you want your own name there, you can actually do that, but normally you have to pay for that. So what you have to find is something that's not been used before. I'm quite amazed that this has not been used before, but there you go. Now, who can view my site? At the moment it's anyone. You can manage this if you want. You can either add the emails of people you know, or you can create a link that you can share with people. Let me click on this. So, I can either make the link public, or I can, I'm going to make it public. And anyone on the internet can find and open. I have no reason to make this private, and in fact probably people who are watching this will probably want to come and check that it's working. So I'm just going to say done. Notice I should have shown you this. The manage here, notice it says viewer. That means people can come here and look at it, but they can't actually edit it. You can actually change that. Okay, so now I'm going to, anyway, but let me publish. Request public search engines do not display my site. That would be useful to do if it was a educational class and you didn't really want people to be able to search it. It's much better to restrict it anyway. Let's click on publish. Now, it's been published successfully, but we still, for example, can't click here. We've published the website, but if you come here next to publish, it says view the published site. So we have published it, but we're not at it. To go there, we click on view published site. Now we can see the website that we've made. This is our okay, it would not win any awards, but notice you can actually also scroll down. This is the BBC page, so I can actually go here, for example. Let's see, open link in new tab. Let's have a look. You see, I can actually choose the item that I want. Let's go back here. I can actually click here and I can watch the video. This testimony is now finished. I could watch the video live, or as we often see in a website, I can click here on YouTube and the video will open up in YouTube itself. Or rather, publicity will actually open up. Now, that's your website. If you want to go back to authoring, you just click on the pencil mark down here that says edit this page. And you're back to the website. Though, as I said, it takes a while to load. It's got to load everything. Okay, it's opened these things. Now, I said earlier that I should have changed this, but I'm just going to change this now. So that's the only change I'm going to make. And now I'm going to click on Publish. Notice that when you make a change, when you've already published, it will show you a preview of the previous version and the new version. Just to make sure you haven't made a horrible mess and you haven't deleted half your site or the thing that you spent 2 hours carefully presenting. Notice also this doesn't look exactly like the page because it's only half the view, but still it should give you some idea of the changes you've made. If you're happy, just click on Publish. And we can go to the website to view. Just before we do that though, I want to draw your attention just to one more thing up here. By the way, you can get a copy of your link to share with others. This this figure that to me looks like a G plus, it says share with others. Once again, you can click on the link here and you can say anyone with the link can edit. So I change this here, anyone with the link can edit, so can author. So here, as I said, you could start to add names. So Marco, my friend, I could send him an email and then he could also author this site. So if, for example, you want a group of students to work on the site, you can share it in that way. Or you can make a link and just make it available. I think that's probably enough for today. By the way, if you search Google, for something like, I don't know, examples of Google Sites for teachers, you'll get some more videos, or you'll get here some nice sites. So this is some new Google Sites. Google Sites are giving some examples. So to find something like that, you just search examples of Google Sites or examples of Google Sites. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching and good luck with making your own website.